because I need to keep the mic in one place.
Yep.
It's such a beautiful day.
Such a beautiful,
Beautiful day.
Okay.
Welcome, friends.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
Megan, it seems like you're tired with baby.
Yeah, baby kept waking me up all night long.
It's a common occurrence now.
I've been dealing with migraine, but it's such a beautiful day.
I just want to go back to bed.
Because it's such a beautiful day.
I also
Okay.
want burritos.
Move.
Hungry.
It is a little bit later. Okay, after this apparently burrito run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyways, the reason we keep saying it's such a beautiful day.
If you don't know what that song refers to, we are talking about Phineas and Ferb
Candace.
Against
the universe.
We didn't even plan that.
Nope,
That was
did it.
good.
Good.
Round of high fives on that one.
Yeah, way to go, Megan. Way to go, baby, that I don't know your name yet and that I somehow keep missing.
It's hilarious. So Sean and I agreed not to tell anyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've said the name around Jonelle like
many times.
80 times. And every single time Sean and I look at each other and we look at Jonelle and Jonelle just did not process the name.
Nope. But anyways, yeah, so small disclaimer. We know this is like the newest Phineas and Ferb thing to come out because it released in 2020. But we're not really going to be like, there's not a lot of point of talking about the Phineas and Ferb TV show.
Because it's the same story plot every episode.
Like
For the most part.
So it would be really hard to have full-blown episodes like we have for Zack and Cody and Aruna's Magic for Phineas and Ferb. So.
Unless you just want to hear about all. I mean, I think we could make that a future episode, like
talking about our favorite episodes.
Maybe just like watching like a few of episodes at a time and talking about them, kind of. But
well, talking about like our favorite inventions that they did for the summer.
Oh yeah.
Like ranking each season's like inventions, yeah. I don't know. Let us know what you guys want on that one. And then
so we also have some exciting things coming up for you. We need to reach 200 subscribers though.
Yep, we're wanting to do a giveaway.
And we have some really cool prizes lined up.
But we want to set a goal of 200 subscribers on YouTube specifically before we reach that point.
We're still going over the legal litigations because when you are doing creation on social media, a lot of these bigger companies have policies that we need to follow. And so we need to get a few documents put together.
Yes, but the prizes are really cool and are Disney themed, and I'm gonna say it, you really can't get them anywhere else.
You cannot get these anymore. They are vintage, yeah, brand new. You can't buy them anywhere.
Yeah,
like you can, but you have to like get them from a different seller.
So if you want to see a giveaway, subscribe, get my hand in frame
and click the notification bell. Gosh, that door really keeps fucking with me.
This door. But anyways, that aside,
it's such a beautiful day for you if you subscribe today.
If you want a giveaway, otherwise it's not so much a beautiful day, but here we are.
Yeah. But we do have some cool things. Yep. So
anyways, so yeah, Phineas and Ferb, Candace against the universe.
This movie makes me sad.
If it's not clear, I like one song.
It's technically my second favorite song in the movie.
What's your first one?
My favorite song in the movie is actually not a Phineas and Ferb song. It's from Milo Murphy's Law, and it has one line in the movie, and because of that, the full version was released on the movie's soundtrack. because it was never released. Like the full version was never released because Milo Murphy's Law only went for 2 seasons
Which is a shame.
because it's such a good show.
It's so good.
But it's Chop 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 by the Lumberjacks.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's a bop.
It occurs during when Candace and Vanessa are like trying to like escape from the spaceship, and Candace accidentally like marks all the escape pods to release, and she goes, "Stop, stop, stop!" And the voice just goes, "Playing Chop 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 by the Lumberjacks."
Oh,
And it's that's the only line that gets played, and because of that, they were able to release the full song on the soundtrack, which makes me so happy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'll show you the music video after this. It's so great.
okay.
Oh my gosh. He's so sensitive.
I know, right? But
Sorry. Also, like tired, Megan. I am also tired.
yeah, it's been a long week.
Shush. My phone is just exploding. Don't mind me.
I was like, I thought it was my phone.
I think that specific notification was yours, but yeah.
But no, why does this movie make you sad, hun?
Oh no.
I was like, why does this movie make you sad? Because actually, I like it from the variety of Phineas and Ferb.
Look, the movie itself is really, really good. For like
Shoot.
basic plot, for those of you who have not seen it, and if you need to see it because it's one of Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh's greatest works. It's really great. But basically, Phineas and Ferb makes an invention. Candace gets big sad because she feels like the universe is against her. She gets abducted by aliens, and she's like told that she's like the chosen one and she's special, and then it turns out she's not. And it's like, I don't know. That's like the basic plot. And then Phineas and Ferb save her, and then they save Earth because of course Earth is in danger. And
But the gift the brothers give
it's
her.
so sweet. Okay, so like why this movie makes me sad. This movie came out in 2020 during the year that no one could leave their house. And so I remember I was following Dan Povenmire, one of the creators on YouTube, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, there's this new movie." So I remember watching it by myself because I was alone. And it was just like it was really bittersweet because at that point in time, I was like reaching the end of the relationship I had with my own siblings. Um, we are just different people who just will not get along and are in situations that we just being in a relationship with them now would be more bring more hurt to everyone in the relationship than like to not be in like a relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But like the first time I watched it, it was like the first of like that grieving process of like I will never have that relationship with my siblings. Like my siblings probably look at me and they're like, yeah, she ruined 2020. She ruined like the family. Unlike Candace, who gets her sibling, like Phineas and Ferb adore her. I don't know why. She's kind of the worst sibling. But like they adore her to the point they're like they rescued her from an alien planet and they made her this mug with all their favorite memories of her and they cheer her up even though like she did things that like weren't necessarily bad. She just didn't know like the repercussions of her actions. And yeah, I don't know. This movie brings me back to that realization. And I'm like, it makes me really sad that I don't have like a good relationship with my siblings. And I never will.
I don't know. When I watched this, I kept like paying attention to Vanessa pointing out to Candace, like, maybe you need to look at what's in front of you and kind of like pay more attention instead of to this future goal of catching your brothers.
Well, and watching this movie, the one question I kept on asking myself, especially in the beginning when you see them with like the robot or whatever.
The juggling robot?
Yeah, the juggling robot. It all I could sit there and think about, I'm like, is just why is she wanting to bust her brothers?
Like,
Like-
is it
like,
like
that's-
safety for them?
Like that question, I don't think has ever been answered.
No, it
Phineas and Ferb is like, what's the goal here? To get them in trouble? To be the dominating older sibling? Like, what's the goal here? Because she's been shown in many episodes of Phineas and Ferb and in this episode to have a
This
good,
movie?
yes, in this movie, to have a good time with her brothers and stuff. You saw that with like the mug that they gave her, like all the memories of her like having fun with whatever they're doing. So what's the point of all of this? Like,
And that mug at the end, it's kind of sad because like Candace was so focused on this goal of catching her brothers, she never got to really acknowledge any of the fun that her brothers saw with her.
yep.
And I mean, that mug gave her a realization, you know, that like it's not about catching them, it's about the time that she's supposed to be spending with them. Um, when I watched Phineas and Ferb as an earlier child, sorry, but like I kind of used to hate Candace a lot.
Yep.
Same. I remember being very jealous of her and being like, your brothers are so cool. And you are like throwing that away. And I understand, like, not every invention is something that I would enjoy or
Oh,
want
yeah.
to participate in. Like the juggling robot, I watched that part of the movie. I was like, oh, I'm going to get sick. Like that looks horrible. But like
I like Swinter.
Swinter was fun. Like,
In Swinter.
See, my brain goes to the treehouse robots.
oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty cool.
But I felt so bad for Candace in this one, like with the juggling robot, because they did her dirty on that one because it wasn't there. The mom was just turned around to it and was too busy, just in all honesty, being a little bit of an ass to Candace.
I feel I have a lot of feelings on Linda, the mom of Phineas and Ferb. Because she like obviously loves her kids. Um, but I feel like she does Candace dirty a lot. Um, and I get from like an adult point of view, like what Candace says to her mom. It sounds insane. Like, oh yeah, they built a giant robot in the backyard. Oh my gosh, I don't know, like all the things that they do over the summer, and she never gets to see it, but like,
It's a boy who cried wolf situation.
also, like, I understand being annoyed with it if it happened once or twice and me like, that's really weird, but like, it's like a repeated offense, right? And obviously she's like seeking something. And like Linda nor the like stepdad ever like pulls Candace aside and me and be like, okay, we see you're having a problem. Let's try to help you with that.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's clear that Candace needs attention.
attention somehow. And she even says it in the movie where she's like, my brothers are like these incredible people. And then she's often like just in their shadow.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it gets, I can understand it getting frustrating because the parents never see how big Phineas and Ferb are. And so it's a weird, I don't want to say paradox, but it's like a paradox of the parents' eyes. Phineas and Ferb are no different. They don't know any of the shenanigans Phineas and Ferb have ever done. And then you have Candace claiming that it was so Candace sees how amazing Phineas and Ferb are to their literally the rest of the city, but the parents don't see that.
Well,
So in the parents' eyes, they're all three of them are normal, but Candace sees how crazy they are.
We
I
also need to
disagree.
look at oh gosh. I was like I had it on the tip of my tongue. Um oh, yes, the family dynamic. Sorry people. The family dynamic is that it's essentially a joined family
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
Ferb is not biologically related to Candace and Phineas.
Nope.
No, he's a step bro.
Yep.
And I think, you know, If you've ever had joining families, I mean, you have, and Megan, I believe you definitely have, and
Mine's a weird mix.
Yeah,
yeah,
adoption is fun.
I was like, if we look at these joined families, parents are obviously going to put more attention into, trying to make this joined family work.
Well, and poor Candace, if you look at her family's situation, Phineas and Ferb are obviously super close.
Yeah.
And then you have the parents that are obviously super close. So
And Candace is just the oldest one who's
exactly, it's like, where does that leave Candace? She's, in all honesty, the loner of the family.
I
Yeah.
get it. I relate to Candace. My siblings were like super close. Like there was a point in time my sister and I were like super close, and she would have been like the Phineas, as in like she was like in the middle. But then there was a point in time where she shifted towards my younger brother, and so those two became super close, and I was just the one left out. And it just depended on the situation of like which one of me or my brother or my sister went to. Um, and that can be really isolating.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to point out an inconsistency with Sean. You're wrong. Their dad, Lawrence Fletcher, who is just a gem, has seen Phineas and Ferb do things. Remember that one time where they built a monster truck out of the mom's car, and Lawrence taught Candace how to drive a monster truck?
No.
It happened in an episode, but like,
Well, and technically, like, the whole love handle shindig was one of their schemes too. But
there's another one that I wanted to point out, and it was Agent P. So there was an episode where they're going hiking with the grandpa, and Candace ends up on some like hallucinogenic type of drugs.
Zebra Kevin.
Yeah.
Goddess of Shrooms strikes again.
And she found out about Agent P. And it was kind of, but like, it could easily been like forgotten because she was hallucinating. And but she did discover the truth of
Well, and
Perry.
what I found weird about this episode
Movie.
regarding movie. Gosh, this is hard. That was weird is how in any other instance between Perry slash Agent P, you know, Doofenshmirtz is never able to tell Perry is Perry until he wears the hat.
Read the platypus.
Exactly.
Until he puts on his little hat.
Exactly.
I should have wore my
It's-
Perry the Platypus shirt.
You should have. But you figure like Major Monogram was like, oh yeah, you were the wrong agent for the mission because your family can't find out you're a secret agent and your nemesis can't find out your host family type deal, or like that you're a pet, regular old pet or whatever. But I'm like, he doesn't know the difference anyway.
Yeah, Dr. D. I love Dr. D.
So I'm like, why did you have to have Perry working in the background through this whole thing? Granted, it was funny. Don't get me wrong. Like there was a lot of gags, like the asteroid situation. That was
Mhm.
super funny. But I'm like, it didn't need to be this big kept secret. Like he could have taken the hat off and then
Just
be like, oh,
been a
there you are,
platypus.
Perry. Oh,
Yeah.
Perry left again. Like how he always does.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to talk about Dr. Doofenshmirtz for a moment. Because I love Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's
Honestly, he's the comical break of whatever the boys are doing.
I mean,
The feud between him and Isabella is entertaining.
Yes.
I want to put something out there. I don't like. There's a song called Adulting, which is brilliant. And I love Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh and everyone who created it. I cannot stand Doofenshmirtz singing full numbers. It just, it's fine for a line or two or three, but then it gets really grating.
Because his annoying voice.
Yeah.
It's great as a talking voice. As a singing voice, I want to literally rip my head out my scalp.
Yeah. Well, I love the song in general.
It's called
Like,
Adulting. This is
We're on point with that.
well, especially for like our generation, it's like, look at us, we're adulting. Like, it's a very common word for us.
I remember watching, like I said, I watched this alone in like my bedroom, and my dad overheard me just like laughing, and he came in and he was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "Phineas and Ferb," and he's like, "That's for babies," and I'm like, "Well, shut up."
It's called adulting.
It's called adulting. He walked in during that song and he was like, "That's just dumb," and I was like, "You're just dumb," but like I think that's Phineas and Ferb kind of grew up with us. Oh, there goes the light.
Son of a gun. Here we go again.
But like the fact that they incorporated this like joke that's like amongst our age group,
Yeah.
which also helps because Dan has a child that's like our age. And so like
I was
he
so-
gets those memes.
I was like, it's kind of great because what's her name? The little girl.
Isabella.
Yeah. I was like, because Isabella is like actually has like more
Like
pretty useful life skills. And then he's like, adulting.
it's called adulting. I have this foot cream. It's called adulting.
And she's like, I got this patch and this patch and this patch.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, we get it. You're type A.
We get it. You're tired. Oh my gosh.
We get it. You're the avid kid.
Excuse me, I am the avid kid.
You are, but you aren't.
Yes.
You're not the avid personality.
Honestly, in the show though, Isabella tends to annoy me more too.
What you doing?
I feel like
What you do?
so after this movie, I've been like nesting, and part of my nesting recently is like reorganizing all the clothes. And so I started rewatching like the first few episodes of Phineas and Ferb, and Isabella in the first few episodes is so much more annoying than she is in the rest of the series. She's just like, "Oh, Phineas.
Oh, Phineas.
Oh, Phineas.
What you doing?
She doesn't even say what you're doing in the first 2 episodes. And I'm just like, what? What is this madness?
Okay, can I tell you what I think was probably one of the funniest running gags of the movie?
Oh my gosh. And then we have to talk about my favorite gag in the movie.
The chicken
Oh my
Oh,
gun.
yes.
Thank you for bringing up because
Thank
actually
you.
I
in
love-
Murphy's Law.
I love the chicken gun.
So it's called the chicken replacinator, and the whole idea behind this nator is like you can point it at something and like shoot it
It'll switch places with a chicken.
with a chicken,
The nearest chicken.
or the farthest chicken, depending on the settings.
Or Beverly Hills adjacent, but you know.
And it's hilarious because this invention actually comes from Milo Murphy's Law. And if you don't know what Milo Murphy's Law, let me tell you what it is because I think it's superior than Phineas and Ferb. The TV show. I know these are fighting words. So Milo Murphy's Law came out after Phineas and Ferb ended. It's about this kid named Milo Murphy who is the descendant of the Murphy. And if you've never heard of Murphy,
As in Murphy's Law.
yeah, Murphy's Law, which is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And so their family is cursed, all the males in their family, that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, like with them around. And it's hilarious. Their dad is literally a safety instructor, so he just like walks into the scene and like everything will go wrong because he's there. And so they have to like basically like figure out how to make it Murphy proof. And so their youngest kid, Milo, is in school and we get to watch all of his shenanigans. And at one point during the series, Dr. Doofernshmirtz starts living with the Murphys. And it's great because he makes this like chicken like switchernator. And it's great that they bring it back for this movie because like in like the actual TV show of Milo Murphy's Law, it's such a running joke. It's such a running joke. They get out so many shenanigans with this random tool that you think would never be helpful.
Well, and it's like, I'm curious, like, how long it really took Doofenshmirtz to realize, oh, I can switch it from the nearest chicken to the farthest chicken.
Shout out to Vanessa, who is just better than her dad in every way.
Okay, shout out to Doofenshmirtz for being, like, top-tier dad.
Oh, yeah. Doofenshmirtz is such a good dad.
Like, I know he's meant to be the antagonist. Like,
Yeah.
very harsh quotes.
He's like
What if Disney Villainous, like for the game, made villains off of TV shows?
Oh, I would want a Doofenshmirtz edition.
If they were to make a Doofenshmirtz, I'm curious how they would go about his little like villain line. Like
Perry has to be one.
I think it would have to be make like somehow like making the connection between like Perry the Platypus and Perry,
Just the normal
like Perry and Agent P.
Perry.
Like how kind of like what would happen in like Phineas and Ferb across the second dimension.
Which is such a good movie. Yeah.
I also love the dragon thing, the alien dragon thing.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
cool.
Okay, can we talk about my favorite scene from the movie?
Yeah.
So they're like on their rocket ship, right? And so they start deconstructing. So you see like literally like the color fades, and then you see like all their like you see all the pencil lines, and then you see like it flashes out to like meta in real life.
Hold on a second. So what happens during it, like they're going to like what they call like warp 2, which is like think of like light speed from Star Wars, but times 2 is like twice as fast as the speed of light. And so Baljeet's like, before we go that fast, our reality starts to deconstruct. And so you see it like progressively getting backwards.
And then we see our men, we see Dan and Swampy, and they're like explaining what's happening with like
On the board.
storyboard, and like it's hilarious. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of the caveman episode. Where they basically like describe the plot of what's going on, and then the Zupa Dea song. Oh my gosh. But Dea.
Zupa
Dea.
Dea.
Ay, 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 y'all.
I will say, like, with that, it kind of brings up one of my favorite ongoing jokes besides the chicken is Baljeet's comic book, and like how he's just like, out of this thing, like this should happen, and then when he says it doesn't happen, but when Phineas says it, it does happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love that.
Mhm.
Space adventures and adventures in space.
Also,
I got
poor
annoyed.
Candace at the end, like when she was stuck on the treadmill.
Oh yeah. I remember watching it and just sobbing.
Like that, like she quite literally got condemned to slave labor. Like in all honesty, she was forced to work out to make her breathe more.
At least they weren't having her run there. It was just like a leisurely stroll.
I mean, yeah, but still, that get like you saw how she was by the end, like you just being forced to breathe, and that can get in itself like breathing heavy, like that can get really taxing on your lungs.
Yeah.
True.
Especially if you start going like 2 or 3 miles.
Yeah,
Mhm.
poor Candace. I feel like so they are bringing back Phineas and Ferb, which I
Oh,
don't.
they are?
They are, yeah.
Oh. I just wanted to watch the movie because of the It's such a beautiful day.
Such a I think that's actually
Beautiful day.
it's a play off of another song that happened where it's such a perfect day. And then it also plays off of another song that they did earlier in the series. Sorry, I watched a lot of Phineas and Ferb.
A lot of their songs actually end up being parodies of previous songs they've done.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Okay, there's this classic example of so there was one episode where Baljeet gets a love interest and they do a whole like love boat thing. And
Oh,
so they wrote this whole entire song about this cruise ship, right? And then Weird Al plays Milo and Milo Murphy's Law. And so they took that same like boat thing but made it about a toboggan. And they had Weird Al make a Weird Al version of that song for a Weird Al show, and I love it so much. Where were we going with this?
Can we talk about the kayak boat?
Oh my gosh, I loved it so much.
Buford decided that going to space, what he really needed was a canoe.
A canoe.
A canoe.
It makes sense to me.
And so he was like lugging this canoe everywhere, and
Isabella was giving him so much crap for it, of like, we don't need a canoe, we're going to space, and all this stuff. And like they end up using it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And she just goes like, okay, I'll make you a patch after we get out of this. Like, I just love that she's like the mom of the group a little bit. Like, I'll make you a patch. I got you.
Okay.
I swear she's just making it patches at this point.
Actually, I do have something to
Yes.
say about Isabella and Phineas and Ferb. and like their whole, because they have like a group of friends, right? So it's Phineas, Ferb, Baljeet, Buford, and Isabella. Like those are like the five, and then Irvin later in the series. And usually when you're watching kid shows, there's like usually like the boys plus the one girl, so it's like a boys club, and then there's the girl who just is pink
Yep.
and likes fashion. And I really appreciate how in Phineas and Ferb, like, yeah, Isabella likes pink and purple, but she's also like the most badass out of everyone there.
And annoying.
Yeah, but she could also just be a Girl Scout con artist creating patches for her own self game to overthrow the Girl Scout
The Fireside Girls.
they're Girl Scouts, hun.
The
She
Fireside
like in the
Girls.
beginning, she used the girls to get to like help out Phineas and Ferb with whatever they needed so she could get closer to Phineas.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to that one episode where they go find like a very rare tree in the old abandonment amusement park.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Phineas and Ferb has a soft spot for me. I just am like unlocking this memory of like
Core memory unlocked.
literally it's like a repressed memory from like Inside Out, being like sucked through a vacuum and then like appearing and and Joey's like, oh my god, do you remember this, guys? Or before I would go to bed, I'd watch like Phineas and Ferb clips on YouTube.
Well, and like Phineas and Ferb is just it's a nice comfort show.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a show that's like Wizards of Waverly Place or like ones where you get like a huge nostalgia point for you largely, but it's one of those shows where it's like it's comforting to watch.
Because it is like literally if you could just play any episode
For the most part, yeah.
and you know the story plot, you know what's gonna happen.
And the music's gonna be a bop.
And it's just so good.
Like
Like there's a bunch of running jokes.
I was like, you when I was a kid a lot, I don't know why, but they always had way more Phineas and Ferb episodes than they did of like
Anything else.
yeah. So I watched so much Phineas and Ferb, I got sick of it.
Well, and it doesn't help that like I don't know if you guys realize this, and I'm pretty sure this is what happened. Because Phineas and Ferb episodes are like half episodes
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, like
They're each
They-
15 minutes long.
they would this is how I remember it being. They would mix and match them
Mm-hmm.
on live TV of like, oh, we're gonna take these two halves and put them together.
Yeah.
I can't how many times I watched Swinter paired with a different episode.
Swinter was a good one though.
Swinter
Backyard
is,
Beach.
Swinter is a classic.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's winter.
Talk about winter.
Oh, and then Jeremy.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremy's a LARP freak and I love it. He's a nerd. He's a nerd.
I don't know why I wanted to say Jeremy from Science.
Because Wizards of Waverly Place.
I know.
Oh my gosh, no. I love Stacy as like a foil to Candace. She's just so chill. Stacy deserves better.
Stacy does nothing for Candace.
She does, you're right. She does nothing except for getting her on the buddy bus.
Yeah, but like, let's look at like this episode. Like, Stacy was it Stacy or Vanessa that was like, Candace, it's your mom. Everything you wanted is like.
It's
right now."
Stacy.
It was Stacy, yeah. And I'm like, were you not here for like the last 20 minutes? And like, Candace obviously proves her wrong, like sends her mom off in a different direction or whatever. But it's like, why do you encourage it, Stacy? Vanessa's a better best friend to Candace than Stacy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Like Vanessa ends up learning about like why she like kind of almost gives up on the whole busting Doofenshmirtz deal, and like she sees like the heartwarming ones like platypus controlling me
He's
and
underneath the
stuff.
table.
And stuff, and you can see that she's like Candace, like during that heart to heart that she has with Candace, it's like, is this really that important to you? Busting your brothers, wasting all this time and energy when you could be having fun with them.
Yeah.
She's such a foiled Candace because she originally wants to bust her dad, but she sees the heart, like you said, the heartfelt moments And she just kind of learns like that's just her dad is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Also, don't judge people of me being barefoot.
Hmm.
It's just comfy.
We're the only ones here.
I know.
They're not
But-
here. They don't have to smell anything.
I mean, they don't smell, but I'm just like, also now, like, whoever, if there's any weird feet people on the internet,
Because there always are.
they have
We're
access to
Not
my.
that kind of channel.
I know, but I'm just saying, you got access to my foot now.
This took a weird turn.
I'm sorry. I just realized that, but I was just like, I just want to sit like this. Oh. I was like, I don't know what else to talk about, but I just
I wanted so big whatever doctor.
Super big doctor.
Super yeah. Her plan was dumb.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I'm not even saying the plan like when she tried to take over Earth. Like, I understand like how she like the similarities of her with Candace about how she like, everyone loved my brothers and I wanted to be something more, so I went out and made something for myself. Okay, that works. And like her whole plan, going to a random planet that she can take over, but she for some reason didn't pick a planet with that would produce carbon dioxide for a plant to grow.
I think it's really funny because it does kind of reflect a Candace in a lot of ways when it comes to like that specific part because Candace's plans don't really make sense either.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Candace has the same plan.
Phineas and Ferb.
I hate that.
Phineas and Ferb were making a title sequence.
But like, no.
Okay, but like, seriously, for Halloween, I can be Candace, you can be Phineas, and baby could be Ferb.
That's not possible. I don't have a triangle head.
But
We got cardboard boxes.
Oh my god. But no, like
are we
Wait,
dressed up
what?
for a
Weird Al was the shirt cannon guy?
Oh my god!
That's
You know
great.
who also is in this episode? Or not this episode. Darn you.
Thomas Sanders.
Thomas Sanders is in this. And I'm so happy.
Yeah, Thomas Sanders plays the like
Oh,
TV
yes.
host.
Also
Yes.
the throat lobster.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
What?
on Wiki looking this up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
But like,
Because I was trying to see, get her name right of the doctor.
Super big doctor.
Except I don't want to say it's doctor, but like
it is Doctor,
it is?
but I
Pull
don't
back
remember the
up.
first part.
Oh yeah, super big doctor.
Super big doctor.
Okay.
Okay, we got it.
But no, like that plan that she had from the very beginning of like taking over a planet with a mind controlling plant without carbon dioxide on that planet was kind of dumb. You know, like she could have taken over Earth a long time ago, but what foiled her was the fact that Phineas and Ferb and Candace or whatever knew about stuff already. Like that would have been an easy win considering our planet is full of it.
And I mean, I think there's just there's obviously their planet did not care about that.
Dun dun dun.
No. Well, I mean, that's kind of like just the hard thing about world takeover movies. It's not really a world takeover movie. It's a New York takeover movie. It's just New York. It's nothing. There's no movie that ever happens on a global scale.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like New York if it's like American.
Mm-hmm. London if it's British.
You know, like
Like
it's
European.
Unless if you're Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
good point.
Well, they like go over about like how food is taking over the world essentially.
Oh yeah.
And then it starts hitting like all the big cities.
Yeah, but like if, like, let's take this for example. If this mind controlling plant was going all over the place, you would think more resource, like more of the world would have been alarmed, almost like world governments. I mean, literally everyone is getting
Sport.
controlled if you weren't wearing a gas mask because it's just like spores from a plant. So like that would be like world governments needing to like intervene together almost, you know?
Mhm.
Especially like how do those travel across water? God darn it!
Ta-da!
And then there was light. Oh no, the light of my life.
And on the second day,
Megan took a nap. It was really refreshing.
But no, I mean that it's just weird seeing movies that like focus on global domination and you don't see global efforts.
yeah. I don't know. What attracted me the most to this movie compared to the other Phineas and Ferb shows and movies, though, was just like when I first watched it, was like maybe there's a chance for Candace, because
Something that bugs me though is I worry that shows like Phineas and Ferb don't keep the character growth. Like there was an episode on Phineas and Ferb where she saw what happened if she busted her brothers. Because we saw future Candace and stuff like that. And that didn't stop her. She saw the bad in the moment, but next episode it was same thing.
Well, like,
Back to the status quo, which I hate saying. So like, yeah, Candace had another redeeming moment today and actually got a perspective change. But will it stick?
so if they're making Phineas and Ferb again, is it going to be Candace goes to college and the boys are like in middle high school?
we don't know.
No idea.
Hmm.
Also, I had to give props where props is due. Ashley Tisdale continuing to reprise as Candace.
Oh,
Ashley Tisdale plays as Candace?
yeah.
Ashley Tisdale has been the voice of Candace this whole time.
Wow. She is.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because when she sings, I was like, why does this sound like Sharpay?
And Mitchell Musso is Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm dumb.
And Allison Stoner is Isabella.
Mhm. Yep. It's nutso. But like you hear a lot about like Disney kids, especially the 2008 era of Disney. Like the Disney Channel we grew up with was almost a trying time for the Disney Channel kids. Like Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Like are just two faces that like they had a rough after they left Disney. It was kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
But like Ashley Tisdale has like remained keen as like I'll stay with Disney. I'm Candace through and through.
Yeah. Somebody, anybody, everybody scream. There's squirrels in my pants. I think Phineas and Ferb is going to be one of like the shows that I introduce our son to.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
What?
Oh, I was just like looking at awards for like, either people or, movies and things like that. This movie was nominated for the Kids' Choice Awards in 2021.
That makes
Sounds
sense.
about right.
Ashley Tisdale was nominated for the Annie Awards for Outstanding Achievement for Voice Acting in Animated Television Broadcast Production.
Makes sense.
Dan won in the Daytime Emmys Outstanding Writing Team for Daytime Animated Program.
He's pretty great. If you guys don't follow Dan Povenmire on
Well,
TikTok,
here's the other
follow Dan.
here's the other reason you should like Dan, Jonelle.
Hmm.
He worked on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He created the fun song.
Mm-hmm.
And then
can't find it without
during the Daytime Emmys nominated Such a Beautiful Day, written by Dan for
Beautiful Day.
Outstanding Original Song for a Preschool Children's or Animated Program.
Yeah, Dan Povenmire is a treasure.
And it's funny because like he'll like post like, "Oh yeah, I'm in Disneyland. Look who I found." And it'd be like someone who worked on Phineas and Ferb or whatever. Like he ran into Ashley Tisdale once. He goes, "Look, it's Candace."
Look at Candace. Yeah, no.
But
Follow Dan Povenmire on TikTok if you
he's
want.
so funny.
He's so funny. He talks about projects he's doing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But how about we make this a more beautiful day and get Megan some burritos?
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
And
If-
do some laundry.
well, then we're running out of stuff to talk about at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on like a minute lecture about how much I love Dan Povenmire
Besides the other 5 minutes that are sprinkled throughout this episode.
and
Sorry, people.
But like, but no. So
go watch Hamster and Gretel.
hope you liked this episode.
Please get people to subscribe if you want a giveaway.
Or if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you want a giveaway with a free piece of Disney merch that is no longer available regularly.
Yeah.
So
Some vintage Disney.
yeah.
Ooh.
But
Ah.
yeah. So bye.
Bye.